I want to take literally everything you said and actually create a scenario and put it in practice, right? So a person at home, right? Clearly the cost of living, wages aren't keeping up with, the cost of living, and the American dream is getting further and further out of grasp for the average American, right? And so now it's like, okay, I'm ready to start. I got my job, I got a little bit of savings. I want to actually start getting into real estate. First thing is, okay, don't just try to buy one multi-unit. What's your pathway to getting 10? And then from 10, 10x in that as well. But how do we start? What's the mindset? And more, not even the mindset, because now we have the mindset. What are the necessary steps to actually own 10 multi-units for that person
Yeah.
that's at home?
Okay. Well, let's just go back to some of the things you said. Average person.
Yes.
Okay. Quit being an average person.
Bet.
Okay. The cost of what was it? The cost of living or something else you said. Not a
Yeah, the
problem.
cost of living. Okay.
Not a problem. Okay. Because if the cost of living is your problem, you're focused on the wrong problem, dude. You don't have $1 billion is the problem. The cost of living, if you just keep attacking the cost of living and goods and services, then you're always going to be stuck as the effect point. The issue is you don't have $1 billion. You with me? Okay.
Yeah.
The issue is not the cost of a bag of groceries. The bag of groceries is a problem because you don't have enough money coming in earned income, not enough coming in, passive income, not coming in, investments, not coming in, assets a schedule of assets that you manage and control. You don't have those things. Those are the real problems. As long as you think the cost of goods and services or inflation or interest rates are the problem, you're on the wrong side of the equation. Much like the ball players, like, oh man, I hurt my knee. No, bro, you didn't hurt your knee, bro. You went out on the field. The moment you agreed to go out on that field and put that uniform on, you agreed to be hurt. So if you're walking into Whole Foods, right? I mean, if you owned Whole Foods, you'd be like, I'm glad prices are going up. So now the question on the real estate, which I didn't answer your question earlier about the real estate. Why not bother with one unit? Because the number of units is the most important number in all of business. It's not the return on investment, ROI. It's not the internal rate of return. It's not the cap rate. It's the number of units. This goes back to the 10X rule. 1 times 25 is 25. 10 times 25 is 250. I want to multiply, right? I don't want to add 1 plus 25. That's 26. I have 1 unit. I raise the rents $25. That's $25. I have 10 units and I raise the rents $25. That's $250. Now, I wouldn't start with 1 unit and I wouldn't start with 10. I'd start with 32. Because when you take 32 units and you change the rents $25, which is easy to do, it's not a very difficult thing to do. If you could find 32 units and figure out how to buy it, even if you didn't have any money, figure out how to buy it, make me a partner. I can buy the 32 units. You manage them. I'll pay for them. We split the profits, okay? If you take 32 units, the reason you don't want to own 1 unit, bro, is there's no money for me and you to split up.
Facts.
If you raise the rents $25, you get $12 and I get $12. I don't want that piece of real estate. You follow me?
Yeah.
There's nothing, okay? But 32 times 25 times 12 divided by 0.06, that's 160 grand. All I had to do was figure out how to get 32 units. Now you get 80 grand and I get 80 grand. I just got a new job without taking a new job. But I need to get to the 32 units. I need scale. I need to 10X my thinking. 320 units would be better than 32. Now your audience is going to be like, yeah, but I don't have any money and I don't have any credit. Yeah, that's not a problem. Blackstone doesn't have any money. Jamie Dimon doesn't have any money. He's got money and doesn't use it. Warren Buffett uses other people's money. They all use debt. While the average American is being taught, don't borrow money from other people, don't use debt, don't have partners. I'm sure you've been told all these things. Partners are a problem. Debt is a problem. Credit is a problem. Going public is a problem. But the richest, most well-to-do people, the guys that own yachts, bro, they're using credit, they're using other people's money, and they have partners. While the average American reading Yahoo Finance, a bunch of data delivered by a bunch of people, save your money, 3 months of savings. You know the whole pitch, dude. Okay. Diversify your investments. The richest people on this planet do not diversify their investments. They have 1 or 2 investments. Elon Musk has 5 investments. They're all companies he owns. Steve Jobs had 2 investments. He had Apple and he had Pixar. Warren Buffett made all his money in one deal. He owned so much of that one deal, he couldn't own anymore without the government saying, bro, you can't own anymore. But he would have basically violated a law. It was 𝐸𝐿. He couldn't own any more of the stock. So he was forced to buy a second stock. So all I'm doing is people your audience needs to start thinking about, man, what am I being told that's not working? Back to your question, the single unit does not work. 60% of America owns a single unit and they're not rich. They own a home. Okay. A home is not a way to create wealth. I mean, if you want to get your audience going in the comments, bro, just ask them, do you think a home is an asset? And they're going to go nuts in the comments. Because I'm telling you, a home is a liability and only a liability. And it should not be the first thing people buy. It should be, you should not buy a home until you have about $10 million in net worth. That'll get them going.
That's a mic drop.